My sister-in-law tried to take my house, so I revealed the truth.
I cast spell, reveal truth.
Ooh. Throwaway for obvious reasons. This happened 2 nights ago, and I'm still feeling some type of way about it. Background, my 30 female husband, 32 male, has a younger sister, sister-in-law 25 female. Sister-in-law is currently going through a divorce with 4 children. My husband and I also have 4 children. My husband and I live on a very quiet country back road in our little town, us and his family being the only residences on the road. So both his sister and their families and his parents live within walking distance of our house. By the way, this comes from throw that asterisk on the r/OK Storytime subreddit. So my husband and I have been married for 7 years and have 4 young children. My husband bought the land we live on from his parents when he was 18. Wow. And when we got married, we built a house on it. We designed our house with a big family in mind and designed it to be our forever home. It has never been a thought to move or look elsewhere. My sister-in-law is going through a divorce. She is struggling, to say the least. She was in a very toxic relationship with her ex, with her contributing just as much as he was, and he filed for divorce and moved out, leaving the 4 kids with her. My mother-in-law called my husband 2 nights ago and asked if we could come over for a chat. We get there, and my in-laws and sister-in-law are sitting on the couch like they were staging some kind of intervention. It was just really strange. My mother-in-law didn't beat around the bush at all. She explained how sister-in-law's ex was getting the house in the divorce, and they would be homeless within the month if we didn't give her our home. It honestly took me a second to comprehend what she even said because it was so out of left field. Husband didn't need that second and looked them straight in the eyes and said, no. In-laws started telling us things like, you guys don't need all that house. You guys can move into one of the new neighborhoods in town. You guys can just build a new house. I offered to open up our playroom and guest bedroom to them. Yeah, that's a sensible solution. Until they could find somewhere to live, we have air mattresses and the guest room has a full bath, but that wasn't good enough, apparently. That's when we got up and left. They began yelling after us, saying, we don't care about the children. Family helps family. We're being greedy and selfish. I'm honestly so proud of how we reacted because my first instinct was to go off and say some hurtful things, but we went home to our home. We love sister-in-law's kids and obviously do not want them to be homeless, but they don't need my house at the expense of my own children and family. I don't know why sister-in-law's family deserves my home. What about my kids? Now the in-laws are calling and texting saying, we don't care about the kids. We're selfish and greedy. We're making her homeless. And I'm wondering if maybe we were too quick to say no. So am I the a-hole for not giving my home to my sister-in-law? No! Don't give your home to someone. That's crazy.
It would be very different if they were like, just for like a temporary
a couple
stay,
months.
however long they need to get back on their feet.
Yeah. Don't give up your home. Also talk to your sister-in-law directly and say, hey, would be happy to host you guys, have you here until you can get back on your feet and, find someplace. I'm not going to just give you my house.
Yeah, you don't get to just have my house. You can just move into one of the new neighborhoods is one of the most insane things I've ever heard.
Insane. Relevant comments. Cruel Summer, not the a-hole. You can't be making someone homeless when you have literally offered them space in your own home. Yeah. Sister-in-law is making herself homeless by turning down offers of assistance because they aren't exactly what she's going for. She's really the selfish and greedy one because she insists on displacing your family rather than humble herself to live temporarily in someone else's home. Sometimes it sucks to suck, and for sister-in-law, this may be one of those times. But word to the wise, take your offer off the table. You've already seen that they are willing to resort to anything to get you to bend and cave. They aren't interested in respecting you or treating you with dignity. When sister-in-law gets desperate, she may finally agree to your offer, but that doesn't mean the bullying will stop. Likely, it'll get worse, and she'll try to make your life miserable from within your own home until you're forced to consider punting her out. And then the guilt trips will get 1,000 times worse as you are now literally punting her out onto the street. Instead, call their bluff and say, we are very disappointed with how little respect this family has for our family, our children, and our own home. In light of this, the previous offer to open up the playroom to sister-in-law is no longer on the table as we feel it would be a mistake to try and share space with someone who clearly has no respect for us. We rest easy in knowing that all of the rest of you who are clearly not as greedy or selfish as us are likely waiting with open arms to accept sister-in-law and her kids into your homes so she will have somewhere to go without our offer. Ooh, that's a nice response. OP responds, my husband has already told sister-in-law that she isn't welcome anymore, but honestly, if it came down to it, I would take the kids in a heartbeat. They didn't ask for this, and they're struggling so much, but sister-in-law can sleep in the shed. And Sushi Bento Box says, how is the ex getting the house if she's the one with the kids? Assuming that they're his kids, that is. OP says the house is his, bought and paid for by him, without her contributing a cent. So that definitely factors in. But from my understanding, she can't buy him out because she has no money, and the in-laws can't or won't buy him out either. And I'm also understanding that he is paying quite a pretty penny in child support, so I don't think she would get the house paid for by him and child support. She may have had to pick one or the other, and I can say with certainty she would choose child support money.
Go figure.
Yeah. Dogmother123 says your in-laws are old. Their family is grown up now. They don't need their house. They should stop being so selfish and move out somewhere smaller so their daughter can have their house. Why are they making her homeless? Why don't they care about their grandkids? How is any of that reasonable? Not the ale.
Yeah, exactly. Them being like,
Flip
you're
it,
making
yeah.
the kids homeless. It's like,
Flip it on anyone.
how about you? No, you are also doing that.
I knew you. My husband has been dealing with his parents and sister. I've been ignoring all the texts and calls, but from what they're saying, their house is too small, only 2 bedrooms, and they need something bigger for the kids to be able to thrive. So obviously that means my own kids have to be moved out of the home they've all lived in for their whole lives and just go somewhere else. While my husband and I still pay for them to live in our house because sister-in-law doesn't work and has no plans to. And there is an update, but man, oh man, how entitled these people who don't have the funds to be this entitled.
Yeah.
Like, you guys don't, you cannot be this entitled when you literally have nowhere else to go.
Well, it sounds like, because their setup was from an inheritance situation, right? Where it's like the land at least was inherited and then they built
it was
from the grandfather.
Well, from what I understood, I think maybe the parents had inherited it and OP's husband bought it when he was 18. Yeah, he bought it from them.
Bought it when he was 18.
That's what it said.
I feel like there's a wealth disparity going on here that's driving this entitlement, where they're just like, well, you already have all the money. It's like, just make more money and buy another house.
But there is an update. So, as a lot of you and myself thought, sister-in-law was lying about a lot. Not going to go into too much detail because it's seriously years worth of lies. But my husband and I called the ex-brother-in-law and we 100% fully believe everything her ex told us. He has no reason to lie to us and said over and over he just wants the best for his kids and he's trying his best not to do anything that could possibly harm in a court of law. She lied about him getting the house, lied about how much she was going to get in child support, lied about how often she would have her children. Something else that came out is that her oldest child is not even her ex's child.
Oh my God.
This lady.
Are her pants on fire? Because she's
a liar. Just so many lies. We feel so incredibly stupid and deceived and disgusted, to be honest. We told my in-laws everything he had said, and they were upset to find out she has been lying, but they kind of doubled down, saying, she must have a good reason. She's backed into a corner. She's really going through a tough time.
Golden child.
And a bunch of other nonsense. Sister-in-law was called and asked to come and join us. She, of course, took zero accountability for the lying and sneaking, and was screaming at us about how gross we were for going behind her back to her ex. How she'll never trust us again because we betrayed her. Oh no, boo-hoo. She also let us know that she was asking for our house because she truly feels like we had actually built it for her. That's so funny because we didn't. They didn't. Our kids' rooms were how she would have designed them herself. She would have loved to cook in my kitchen. She loves my bathroom layout. Basically everything about my house is how she would have built it herself. And she thinks that I must have somehow known she would have needed a home in the future.
All right. Mental help. She needs, I don't know if she needs meds. I don't know if she needs therapy, but like that is one of the most insane things I've ever seen someone think.
Me at a billionaire's mansion. Wow, you really knew I would want all this.
Oh my God, you did all this for me?
This is exactly what I had in mind.
You shouldn't have. I would have done the same thing. No, this is our house.
Bye. At that point, I was just done, and so was my husband. Can't argue with bat crap crazy. We left to a whole lot of screaming about no longer being family and to not expect to see them again.
Thank God.
We don't want to. Honestly, I think never seeing them again is the only way to go from here. It's been a crazy few days since then. We hired a friend of my husband to put up a privacy fence around our entire property and added extra cameras to our security system. We have a good family friend of our family, not husband's, on the police force and let him know the situation so he knows if he gets a phone call from us that it's serious. I think sister-in-law thought that she could have my house because she loved it. That's kind of it. She wanted it, so she thought she deserved it. I guess she was either planning to sell her house at some point or maybe rent it out. I have no idea. And I really don't think she had thought that all the way through. She just thought if she told us all she was losing the house, then we would feel obligated to help in the way she wanted. By the way, we want you to listen to full episodes with stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime.
It is what we want.
It's what we want. But there's a little bit left to the story. I think we all know you're not the a-hole, though.
Well, I would be, this level of derangement is like, I'm concerned that you, for 1 second, seriously thought that we were just going to give you the house because you like it?
Yep, just ignore her. No contact, low contact, one of those. But let's finish this off. So I hope this clears up some questions. I know I feel at peace with the situation. My husband has been grieving a bit. He's sad that his parents have chosen a liar over a man who has done everything for his family, never hesitated to help, and only ever been a doting son. But I think this is for the best. They don't treat him the way he deserves, and I'm glad to be rid of him. I'm sad for my kids and the situation this puts them in, but my family has enough love for everyone. Thank you to everyone who took the time to comment and message and give advice and ask questions. Hopefully you guys won't hear from me again. And that is the end of that story.
It looks like we didn't hear.
And we didn't hear from you again, so I'm going to assume that it all worked out.
It did. I'm going to mentally say that it all worked out.
All worked out. And you got your beautiful house with all of your kids.
Yeah.